Organizations that really focus around agility are driving greater degrees of revenue growth as well as in greater efficiency on the resources that they have in your organizations. And this is in clear alignment with what we're seeing CEOs really asking for from their businesses. Hi, my name is Paul Burdett. I'm a vice president at IBM, really focused around WebSphere software as well as expanding areas like cloud and business process management. In order for companies to really drive through this understanding and really achieving a greater degrees of agility, what we're seeing them focus on is the idea of their business processes. And it's processes not only from an execution, but how do they understand the best changes to make, how to make better decisions, and how to make sure and ensure those decisions are executed in the way that they thought, and how to constantly make and improve upon those decisions and the processes. It's all about differentiation.
Technology on one hand, legislation on the other, and the cost pressure on everybody involved has made it possible for technology to step in a meaningful way and really become a conduit for healthcare delivery. Hi, I'm Roy Schoenberg, I'm CEO of American Well Systems. Unfortunately, most providers, most physicians don't do house calls anymore, which was traditionally a wonderful way of being in touch with your patients. We can today use technology to allow providers to check up on their patients on a regular, frequent basis without leaving their office and, more importantly, without requiring their patients to leave their home. But technically, in order to actually get healthcare services, you have to show up at the healthcare system. You have to come to the physician office, you have to come to the ER. And technology allows that to happen without anyone moving from their regular place and come together on a frequent basis.
Through this increased focus around agility to respond to this really dynamic climate that we're all in is really being more responsive to the customer. We see this with American Well in healthcare, really being able to take and combine that expertise and really making it more relevant to the customers that they serve. IBM is helping organizations really drive through this idea of agility and deal with the complexity out there in the marketplace around three different areas. First of which is greater degrees of expertise. So we understand and pulling in the thousands of customer experiences that we have. And two, around the technologies we apply. And that's really is making sure that expertise is in those technologies as well as then continuously being able to take a look at how they improve upon. And a third area is making sure that all this information is documented so many people can reuse it and constantly improve upon their processes.
The truth is that it's not enough to just create a video conference between two people. It has to recognize that one of them is a patient and they have a history and they have a record and they have an insurance product that covers them, and then the other person is a physician, they have a specialty, they have a network. There are abundant rules and regulations that govern how the two can come together. There has to be some logic under the hood that facilitates the right interaction and also advises everybody involved as to how to make best use of the time that they spend together. This is where this immense power of the IBM component that's under the hood comes into play. It makes sure that this is not just a good experience, but also that it does the right healthcare.
It's no longer just good enough to think about like how my experience at the bank is as compared to other banks. It's about, like, how is my experience in the hospital compared to the retailer? Like, do they understand me? How quickly can I bring up my information? Do they have my history? Are they making sure that the conversation is very much directed towards me, or is it too generic? And so the ability of looking at experiences of being transferable is very important. So when we look at ways to improve, is that we got to expand our thinking. All this idea that information is readily available and that technology is really helping to accelerate that is your competition can come from anywhere.
I think we and companies like ours are going to play a bigger role in creating this new tier of care delivery, which is technology. That is what healthcare is going to look like. It will become part of healthcare delivery in the next couple of years. The longer we can keep patients at home, the better it is for everybody. So we have one of those rare occasions where there's an alignment of value to everybody involved with the implementation of this technology. And we see this really driving the adoption of this system all over the place.
What we're seeing by this focus around process is, one, how to make changes more efficiently and more effectively, how to better utilize back-end IT and bring it deeper and deeper inside of the organization, but really bringing it into the decisions that they make inside of their organization. So making sure that they understand all the nuances, the visibility within the business, so the role and the information that can play. But then once they make a decision, is how does that decision execute? And making sure, did they get the right result, and how quickly they can make changes to those decisions and to the processes that support them.
There are so many different horizons where this technology can actually step into and create a disruption and a new reality. that it is one of those very fortunate things for us to be in this place and just see it exploding left and right in all the different directions. Growth is not the question. It is inevitable that technology will become part of healthcare delivery.